This is the code, shrouded in shadow for eons, handed down only to those who dared stare into the sun at dawn, whose hearts beat with questions that burned too bright to sleep. They say Thoth, the ibis-headed keeper of secrets, did not write this cipher into stone, nor ink it upon the papyrus scrolls. He sang it into the fabric of existence, coded into breath, embedded in every silence between heartbeats. The unbreakable seal. How do you tell the uninitiated that all their life, a melody ran beneath the noise? That every disappointment, every surge of hope, every time the hairs rose on the back of your neck when you heard truth spoken that was the code, seeking you out? It is almost cruel, isn't it? The world trains us to look outward, to build towers, invent engines, to demand proof before surrender. But the ancients knew. The real proof is the quiver in your chest when the invisible brushes passed your soul. It was not taught in the temples, it was caught, like a fever, a transmission that leapt from eyes that had seen too much, to the pupil just beginning to widen. The emerald tablet, the legendary artifact of Hermetic wisdom, merely hinted at the transmission, as above, so below. But nobody told you, did they, that the above and below are not places in the sky and ground. They are frequencies in your own spine, a resonance waiting for a single note to activate, a memory that isn't yours. When I first tasted this vibration, it was not during meditation, nor prayer, nor some dramatic midnight ritual. It was a wordless echo in the silence after heartbreak, a sudden knowing that I could not have invented, because it felt older than the language I used to think. Imagine standing in the echoing chamber of an Egyptian temple not as a tourist, but as a witness. Feel the temperature drop, the sense that something ancient and impossibly vast is watching you. There, the code. Your mind will call it fear, but deeper, it is recognition. A hands-on initiation. Now, for those ready, close your eyes. Not because you need to escape the world, but because the world is about to shift inside you. Breathe once, twice, slowly, and with each inhale, silently ask, what in me has always known? Feel the air as it passes your lips, as if it is the answer coming in, wordless, electric. Hold your breath for a heartbeat, as if you are holding a secret, and let it out so gently that the room itself seems to lean in, straining to catch the sound. Do this only once, with total attention. That is enough. Even the ancients said, one honest invocation can collapse 1,000 illusions. The side effect no one warns about. Be warned, when the code touches you, the ordinary will turn strange. The traffic, the arguments, the plans you made, they will seem like faded dreams, and the world will feel unfamiliar. This is the first sign. You are seeing through the eyes of the initiate now, and everything that is not real will clamor to reclaim your focus. Donot Banitz. Type, I have felt the code, in the comments if you've experienced even a flicker of this shift, to reinforce the collective resonance and let others know the journey has already begun. If you are still here, know this. Thoth only ever offered the code. The key was always missing. The key. That word alone stirs something ancient. They say Yeshua, whom many called the Nazarene, the wanderer, the one who spoke in riddles, was never the creator of a new path, but the revealer of what always was. Unlike Thoth's cipher, which hums beneath reality, Yeshua's key is heartbreakingly obvious, scandalous in its simplicity. That is why most miss it. The paradox of the key. Do you know what it means to be shown the key to a prison only to discover the door was never locked? That is the cosmic joke. Yeshua's teachings were always open, always within reach, but so mundane that the proud, the clever, and the spiritual overlooked them. He spoke of love, forgiveness, unity, and the kingdom within. So what? So what? Say those words in the right moment, with your entire being, and the universe's lock turns with a click. But say them like a parrot. Say them with cynicism, and you'll feel nothing but dust. A moment of raw doubt. I still recall the first time I tried to love my enemy, as Yeshua said. Not in a church, not on a yoga mat, but on a rain-soaked street corner after betrayal. The key didn't fit. It hurt. It was embarrassing, almost shameful. Yet, in the very act of trying, in the willingness to fumble, Something softened in the air around me. It was as if reality itself exhaled. Here lies the hidden power. The key is not an object, it is emotion. It is the act of unlocking, not the possession of a thing. And most will walk by, searching for elaborate rituals, missing the living key that breathes between every pulse. Hands-on experience. The inner opening. If you're ready, try this now. Place your right hand on your heart. Close your eyes and remember vividly a moment when you felt excluded, rejected, or unseen. Let the pain flicker, not to torture yourself, but to find the exact spot where your energy contracts. Now, as you inhale, imagine a warm light, not from above, not from anyone else, but as if your own heart glows with a secret fire. With every breath, gently repeat in your mind, I forgive this moment. I let it go. If a tear comes, let it. If your mind resists, thank it. Just once, one real attempt is enough to test the key. The warning, the pain of opening. Don't let anyone sell you bliss in a bottle. When the key turns, it can bring raw ache before the relief. Olenga me suyap, you may feel exposed, unguarded, ridiculous. These are the guardians at the threshold, your old stories desperate to keep you safe. But if you pass through, the warmth that fills the space is unmistakable. The old self begins to dissolve. You glimpse the world as Yeshua saw it, without walls. If you've truly tried this, comment, the key turned in me. Let others know the collective field is awakening. The cipher and the key neither work alone, but you, right now, are holding both. The mirror is not glass. It is not silver or crystal or polished stone. The mirror is the moment you dare to look within and see both the code of Thoth and the key of Yeshua alive in your own eyes. It is forbidden not because someone hid it from you, but because the human mind hides itself from revelation. There is nothing more terrifying than seeing yourself as you truly are, creator and destroyer, worthy and afraid, ancient and newborn in a single gaze. The first time I saw myself, let me confess, I didn't seek the mirror. I ran from it for years, shrouding myself in study, rituals, mantras, anything but that silent confrontation. The old texts warned, no one looks into the true mirror without trembling. And it's true, when I finally gazed inward, I saw not wisdom, but all my failures, betrayals, resentments, swirling in the depths. But in that swirl, I saw something else, the power to choose. The cipher was humming, the key was shining. Both waited for my willingness to bring them together. The science of reflection. Modern physics now dares to echo the ancients. The observer changes the observed. When you truly witness your thoughts, your emotions, your inner shadows, without judgment, something shatters. You become both experiment and experimenter. In Egypt, they called this the weighing of the heart. Could you stand in truth and not be consumed by it? It is a phenomenon now studied in quantum fields, psychology, and neurobiology. Yet, not one of those sciences dares admit this is not just observation, it is alchemical transformation, hands-on experience. The mirror ritual. Are you ready to risk discomfort? Sit before a blank wall or dark window, somewhere silent. Dim the lights. Let your face fall into shadow, as if returning to the caves of first memory. Gaze not at your features, but through them, into the place where thought dissolves. Ask silently, what is looking through my eyes right now? Let whatever answers arise, even if they seem childish, petty, or grandiose. Do not flinch. Sit for 3 slow breaths. If fear, shame, or sadness comes, breathe into it. Let it burn. That is the mirror purifying the energy field. You do not need hours. 3 honest breaths is enough for the transformation to begin. The side effect. The haunting. This is the danger. After the mirror, you may feel haunted for hours, even days. Old memories may surface. Faces of those you wronged. Moments you wish to erase. You might see beauty where you once saw nothing. Ugliness where you expected grace. This is not regression. It is the code and the key activating together. Allow the haunting. Share in the comments. I saw myself. Oh, each confession resonates, making the path easier for the next one who dares. You are not alone. The ancients walk beside you, whispering, "Now you are ready for the next chapter." Not all secrets are silent. Some burst forth, wild and uncontainable, from the mouths of those who dare to sing when the world expects them to whisper. The living frequency is the secret the priests guarded behind the thickest doors, the sound that unseals what words cannot touch. It is the original vibration, the syllable that shaped both mountain and memory, both wound and healing. It's hard to believe, isn't it? A sound, a single frequency lasting just 33 seconds can rearrange your entire field. To most, that's madness. Scientists roll their eyes. Skeptics smirk. But those who have felt it know. In the sanctuaries of Egypt, in the Himalayan caves, in the echoing halls of Tibetan monasteries, sound is not performance. It is a surgical tool for the soul. They called it the name above all names, the resonance that, when sung not spoken, slices through illusion like a blade through silk. My first encounter with the frequency. I remember it with a strange nostalgia and a touch of terror. A room filled with strangers, each of us told to intone a single syllable, low and slow, until the walls shuddered and the air vibrated around our bones. At first I felt foolish, but suddenly it was as if I'd become hollow, the sound ringing through every cavity, every regret, every secret pain. Time thinned, my body evaporated, and all that remained was the frequency, ancient, intelligent, alive. Hands-on experience, the syllable of activation. Are you ready to risk absurdity for revelation? Sit or stand, back straight, eyes gently closed. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let the sound RA emerge open and resonant, as if you are singing the sunrise into being. Hold the tone as long as you comfortably can, letting it vibrate not just in your throat, but in your chest, skull, even fingertips. Feel how the sound is both leaving you and returning, as if the universe is humming back. Only once is required. Do not force or repeat mindlessly. Just once, with total intent, is enough for the vibration to find its way. The warning, the side effects of resonance. Beware. After invoking the living frequency, your emotions may surge. You might laugh, cry, or feel sudden exhaustion like you've been cleansed from the inside out. Some report vivid dreams. Others, a strange magnetism that draws new experiences or people into their lives. This is not a side effect, but a sign. You have split the veil between worlds, and the current has changed. Do not overdo this practice. The ancients warned, those who chase the sound for power lose themselves in the echo. End 1. If you have dared to sound the syllable, comment, "I split the veil." Let your resonance join ours in the field, and know you are part of an ancient chorus, awakened at last. The threshold is not guarded by demons or angry spirits. No, the true guardian is far more cunning. It is your own mind, dressed up in the armor of reason, pride, and habit. The ancients whispered that the moment you near transformation, your mind will manufacture every distraction, every fear, every plausible excuse. It is not your enemy. It is the test. Tell you to repeat RA 1,000 times. Sorry, the ancient magicians would laugh in your face. They knew that mindless repetition is the mind's favorite hiding place. Ritual without risk, comfort without confrontation. Do you see? The guardian is subtle slipping doubts, sudden hunger, irritation, or a memory of an old insult, anything to pull you back from the edge of the unknown. This is not a flaw. It is an evolutionary masterpiece, a mechanism designed to keep you safe in a world that punishes those who stray too far from the herd. But you are not here for safety. You are here to awaken. My battle with the guardian. I have lost count of the times I failed the threshold. Hours spent sitting in meditation, rehearsing chants, chasing visions only to be lured away by boredom, by the phone's glow, by the certainty that nothing is happening. But the ancient texts say, when nothing happens, the real battle begins. One night, after days of discipline, I finally surrendered not by force, but by facing the discomfort head-on. I saw the guardian for what it was, my own fear of dissolving, of losing control, of stepping into a life that could never be explained. Hands-on experience. Crossing the threshold. This is not a comfortable practice. It is for the ones who are tired of their own avoidance. Sit in stillness, without music, without guidance, with nothing but your breath. When your mind screams for distraction, let it scream. Feel the urge to move, to check the clock, to give up. Don't fight, but don't obey. Just watch as if you are an ancient priest watching the initiate squirm, knowing that this is the right. Stay with the discomfort for 7 full breaths. Count them one by one, each breath a step closer to freedom. No one else will know if you cheat, but your energy field will. Warning: the risk of escape. After this threshold, some feel lost, empty, unmoored. Do not panic. This is the death of the old self, the mind's last, desperate ploy before surrendering to the code and the key. It is not depression. It is the stillness before a new song. If you have stayed with the guardian, if you have refused to turn away, comment, "I crossed the threshold." Let others know that courage does not look like glory. It looks like patience. You are not done. You are only now entering the real temple. Some call it the third eye. Others name it the Ajna, the Eye of Horus, the mystic gateway. But beneath every name is a single truth. Intuition is the portal that opens not by force, but by surrender. If the code of Thoth is the hidden architecture, and the key of Yeshua the act of unlocking, then intuition is the doorway itself, one that swings open only when you have stopped demanding and started listening. Anyone who has ever stood in the cold stone chamber of an ancient temple knows the air is thick, not with answers, but with questions. The silence presses against your skin, the shadows seem to whisper. It is here, in this electric pause, that intuition stirs, not as a voice, not as a vision, but as a subtle shift, like the change in atmosphere before a storm. The modern world has made an enemy of uncertainty, obsessed with measuring, calculating, knowing. But the ancients were not so eager to fill every silence. They honored the space between thoughts, the echo between chants, the empty corridor between question and answer. For them, intuition was not magic, but method, a refinement of attention so delicate it could sense the flutter of a god's breath. The first whisper I ever heard. I confess, I did not trust intuition at first. Raised on rules and logic, I dismissed every hunch as fantasy, every gut feeling as superstition. But one sleepless night, with all plans exhausted, I simply sat and listened not for voices, but for the hush beneath my anxiety. And there it was, a sensation, a gentle urging, a knowing without reason. It felt like standing at the edge of a vast, dark ocean and realizing you were not alone. Hands-on experience, opening the portal, ready to try, dim the lights, remove every distraction, sit or lie down, palms open, eyes gently closed. Focus not on your breath, but on the space between breaths. Allow thoughts to drift, and whenever you notice silence, however brief, imagine it as a doorway. Do not strain, do not chase. Simply wait. If an image, word, or sensation arises, receive it gently, with no urge to interpret. You are not seeking meaning, you are simply witnessing. Try this for just 5 minutes, no more. Once is enough for the portal to know you are ready. The side effect, sensitivity and the flood. Warning: those who open this portal often find themselves suddenly overwhelmed by feelings, impressions, even other people's moods. You may feel more porous, more tender, more alive. This is not weakness. It is the first gift of intuition, an expanded field of sensitivity. Treat it as a sacred new skin, not a wound. If you have felt the portal tremble, comment, "I received the whisper." Let the resonance echo through the community, joining those who now see with inner eyes. You are now moving beyond knowledge into direct, living participation with the mystery. There are stories they don't tell in sacred halls, not because they are unworthy, but because they are too true, too raw. Every act of true manifestation is written in shadow as well as light. It is a contract. For every desire you bring forth, you must be willing to meet what you have exiled. The ancient texts on the emerald tablet say that only those willing to let go of fear are moved enough to touch the third dimension of power. It is easy to chant affirmations, to visualize riches and love, to speak of raising your vibration. But the ancients, Egyptian, Indian, Tibetan, knew a secret that the modern world flinches from. You must invite the shadow to your table. Every wish, every vision summons its reflection. The brighter your dream, the longer its shadow. This is not punishment, it is balance. What you run from will one day rule you, but what you are willing to face will become your ally. The night I signed my own shadow contract. No teacher warned me. I learned the hard way. I manifested a great opportunity, a relationship, a creative breakthrough. But soon, all my old insecurities came flooding in. Jealousy, anger, doubt intensified, not diminished. For weeks I resisted, judged, tried to banish them. But it was useless. The shadow only grew. One night, in utter exhaustion, I sat and faced each feeling as if it were an ancient spirit listening, acknowledging, even thanking them for their protection. Only then did the tension break. The power I had called in was finally mine to use, because I was no longer at war with myself. Hands-on experience. Writing your shadow contract. Ready to manifest with integrity? Take pen and paper. In the darkness or by candlelight, write down a desire that burns in you. Now, beneath it, list the fears, doubts, or old wounds that surge up when you imagine that desire fulfilled. Do not judge, just record. Then, aloud, say, I welcome these shadows as part of my journey. I claim the whole of my wish, with all its light and dark. Burn the paper, or fold it and keep it hidden as a private talisman. This ritual, done once with sincerity, forges a new contract between your conscious wish and your hidden self. The side effect, unraveling and power. Be warned. The days after this ritual may feel strange. You may notice old patterns crumbling, relationships shifting, emotions surfacing like forgotten ghosts. This is the shadow contract in motion. Do not run. Witness. With each breath, your power stabilizes and deepens. If you have dared to write or speak your shadow, comment, I have signed the contract. Let others know that this journey is not for the faint of heart, but for the truly awakened. The path of manifestation, from this point, becomes real. Powerful seekers often believe, more effort means more result. But the true alchemists, from Alexandria to Tibet, from Gnostic caves to Indian ashrams, whispered a shocking reversal. The greatest manifestations arise when action dissolves into surrender. It is a paradox that confounds the logical mind and frustrates every ego that wants to make it happen. Oh, when I tried to force the miracle, let me tell you a secret, one no teacher likes to admit. For years, I believed I could bend the world with will alone, visualizing, scripting, pushing harder. Sometimes, I succeeded, but often, the harder I pushed, the more life resisted. Manifestation became exhausting until, in a moment of defeat, I let go completely. I did nothing. I walked in the garden, listened to the wind, let my desire dissolve into the background hum of being alive. It was in those quiet, surrendered hours that the unexpected came. A message, a meeting, a solution I had never conceived. As if, by stepping aside, the universe finally found space to move through me. Flow science, where the ancient meets the modern. Neuroscientists now study what yogis and magicians once practiced. Flow states, moments when intention and action merge, and you become the vessel, not the doer. Brainwaves change, time distorts, and impossible tasks become effortless. But the trick is always the same. Act with total presence then, let go. Release attachment to outcome. Let the energy you set in motion work through the unseen network of the universe. In Egypt, it was called Ma'at, the dance of order and surrender. In Taoist China, Wu Wei, actionless action. In Yeshua's secret parables, the lilies grow by being, not striving. Hands-on experience, the ritual of surrendered action. Ready to practice the paradox? Think of a wish, a goal, a transformation you crave. Take one small, clear action in its direction. Send a message, plant a seed, light a candle. Then, the moment the act is complete, let go. Release your grip. Distract yourself. Trust that you have already sent the signal. The field is in motion. For some, this surrender feels like a fall. For others, it is a relief, a homecoming. The side effect, the quiet arrival. After this practice, do not seek. Let the field return to you what is ready. If nothing comes, celebrate the emptiness. When results appear often sideways, rarely as planned, receive them as gifts, not as proof of control. If you have tried the paradox, comment, "I have surrendered." Your presence strengthens the resonance, teaching others that there is a way beyond struggle. You are learning to flow with the current of the cosmos, no longer a puppet, but a partner in the great dance. This is not a metaphor. The ancients called it the Akasha, the book of life, the cloud of knowing. Modern physicists call it the quantum field, the unified substrate. You, right now, are an emitter and receiver within this ocean. The code of Thoth, the key of Yeshua, the portal of intuition, the mirror and the shadow, all of it lives and pulses in the same invisible field, the place where myth and science touch. Have you ever felt time slow, the hairs on your arms rise, as if someone or something was watching a gaze older than history? That is the field noticing itself through you. You are not only in the universe is in you, folding and unfolding possibilities with every breath, every thought, every tremor of feeling. In sacred geometry, the pyramid is not just stone, but an amplifier of intention, a tool to focus the living current. In science, entanglement and coherence describe how all things are connected, how an act here ripples across continents, dimensions, lives. My first collision with the field. I did not expect it. I was speaking a word not for effect, but in truth when the room thickened and colors sharpened, and it felt as if I was both witnessing and creating the world. It lasted seconds, but I was never the same. From then on, I knew. The field is always on, always responding, always reflecting what you hold most intensely within. But here's the danger. Most people broadcast confusion, fear, mixed signals. They manifest chaos by default, calling it fate. Hands-on experience. Tuning to the field. You are ready. Sit or stand, eyes open or closed, as you wish. Imagine your body as a transmitter light at your core, radiating out. Silently or aloud, speak your intention. I am ready to participate. I am open to receive and to create. Pause. Now feel, do not imagine, but truly feel energy flowing out from you. And then, with your next inhale, returning, bringing gifts, insights, answers. Let this cycle happen only once. One genuine cycle is enough to seed the field. The side effect, synchronicity, and the uncanny. After tuning, expect the unexpected. People may call. Opportunities will arise that seem almost scripted. Dreams become vivid. Time feels elastic. This is not madness, but resonance. Be observant. Let the field prove itself to you in its own language. If you have tuned to the field, even if only for a heartbeat comment, I have entered the field. Each declaration amplifies the effect, forging a chain of living manifestation across continents and centuries. At this threshold, you are no longer a seeker. You are a living experiment. This is the real initiation. Not a vision, not a secret word, but the crossing into a new kind of life, where you become both the vessel and the guardian of the living code. You are not here by accident. If you have journeyed this far, if you have risked the mirror, sung the syllable, faced your shadow, surrendered your desire, and entered the field, then you are ready for the final step, to become the keeper. The moment everything changes, there is a silent instant, almost unnoticeable, when you stop seeking and start carrying. The ancients called it the new covenant, a personal pact with existence, where you no longer look for magic outside, but recognize your own life as the living ritual, each breath a prayer, each act a vibration sent into the timeless network. This is not the end of longing, but the birth of a deeper kind of service. You do not belong to yourself alone. You now belong to the resonance that awakened you. You become the code, the key, the field unfolding and transmitting the mystery to others, whether you speak it or not. The first day, as keeper. When I took this vow unspoken, unwitnessed, I felt both terror and awe. The world looked the same, but everything felt charged, as if each moment waited for my choice to send ripples through the unseen. There was loneliness, yes, but also a wild new belonging, To every seeker, every initiate, every ancestor who has ever burned with the need to know and to heal. You may feel vulnerable. You may doubt. You may want to turn back. That is proof you are on the edge of greatness. Final hands-on experience. The Keeper's Oath. You are invited now, if you choose, to take the Keeper's Oath. Light a candle, or simply bring your hands to your heart. Silently repeat, I accept the code. I carry the key. I serve the living field. Let my life be a blessing, my vibration, a gift, my presence, a beacon for those still searching. Let this oath settle in you. You do not need to say it twice. One vow, given in honesty, reverberates through lifetimes. The last side effect. Ripples without end. Be prepared. The world will not change overnight, but you will sense the shift in how you are treated, in what opportunities find you, in the synchronicities that mark your days. Others may be drawn to you, or repelled, for reasons neither of you can name. This is the signature of the Keeper, the silent radiance that changes reality by its mere presence. If you have spoken the Keeper's Oath, comment. The journey has begun. Each voice magnifies the web, calling home every soul that has longed for this moment. The invitation. If this journey has awakened you, you are now a thread in a tapestry that stretches back to the dawn of wonder and forward to every seeker yet unborn. Subscribe not just to this channel, but to the living frequency that flows through it. Like and share this video, not as a favor, but as a ripple sent forward, an act of resonance in a world desperate for true connection. And, most important, comment your confirmation so we know who is walking this path together. This is not content. This is the preservation of ancient knowing, remade in every willing heart.